Hey guys, so I already know this video is going to be kind of long, but I thought it would be important to get this out on YouTube. I know I'm not like one of the most popular people on YouTube, but if you ever come across my channel, I think that it's going to be important for you guys if you guys are going through this. And it's going to be a my thoughts video, and I'm going to be doing abusive relationships. I myself have gone through this before, and I thought that if you're one of those people that are looking for like some help or a way out or something like that, or just information, I think that it would be really helpful. So if you guys want to keep watching, go ahead. If you don't, please click out of this video. I don't really want any hateful comments on this. I'm just doing this purely for helping people, for information and stuff like that. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started. So first I'm going to talk about my personal story with an abusive relationship. I've had my fair share of abusive relationships in the past, not just with like boyfriends, but with parents. My mom married a guy that was not very nice. Wasn't my dad, thank God. I didn't like him at all. I cried at their wedding because I was so miserable. And I just feel like if you guys feel like this, it would be helpful if I shared with you. So basically, they got married and it was kind of sudden, and me and my brother weren't really comfortable with it, and my brother stopped talking to my mom because of everything that happened. So I was stuck there because I lived with my mom, obviously. My relationship with my dad was kind of torn apart with my parents' divorce and stuff, so I didn't really want to move in there. But that's all healed up now. I have a good relationship with both my parents, so anyway. My mom married this guy, and basically he turned out to be a lot of things that he said he wasn't going to be, and that like, oh, he'd never do this and never do this and stuff like that. It was never physical abuse, but it was a lot of mental harassment and just emotional abuse, and it wasn't good at all. So they were together for about 8 years, and finally they divorced, and I couldn't have been happier. He was from the southern states, and just everything that my mom did was wrong, and he basically made my mom attack my dad, like not physically obviously, but like through courts and stuff like that. And it just wasn't a good time. I always had difficulty being around. I was going through really dark places in my life. It wasn't a good time. So basically, if you guys are having trouble with parental or step-parent, emotional, physical, sexual abuse at all, please tell somebody. I kept a lot of stuff inside, and I still, to this day, haven't told anybody certain things about what happened in my life. But please, you guys, if something's going on, please tell somebody. A best friend, anybody, like someone you trust. Even like the kids' help phone and stuff like that, like places you can call and just talk about everything. Like, it would be so much more beneficial to you to just talk about something than have it like boil up inside you. And I was like really angry all the time because of the stuff that I went through, and like I was a really, really upset child. I was really young when this was happening. I think I was about 7 or 8 when it started, and I was about 13 when he left. So it wasn't a good time. I went through a lot of stuff family-wise and like internally that, I really wish I didn't have to go through. There was a lot of stuff that I kept bottled that like hurt me emotionally, and like continue to hurt me throughout my relationships. And you would think because I saw the way that this was happening to my mom, I would have known better when I dated my ex. And no, I didn't. So I'm just gonna go right into that. Basically, if you guys are... Okay, my story with my ex-boyfriend was I was just getting into high school. I was 14 years old, and I met this guy, and it just... He turned out to be my boyfriend now, but I met this guy. We started dating for a couple weeks. It just didn't work out, and, you know, he didn't have a cell phone. He lived on the opposite side of town from me. He went to like a school way out in the middle of nowhere, and we just kind of like, it didn't work, and we just kind of stopped hanging out and didn't really break up, but it wasn't good. So we just kind of ended it without ending it in kind of a way. But he's my boyfriend now, and we're back together, and it's great. But in between that phase, I started getting really close with one of his friends, and I'm not going to say his name, but, like, doesn't matter. If anybody out there knows who I am and knows me personally, you'll know who I'm talking about, and you probably had your own experience with me when it comes to this guy. So basically my story with that is I met this guy and I started dating him kind of on an impulse, like, rebound thing, and I didn't think it was going to last at all. I didn't start dating this person because I was physically attracted to them. It was kind of like, hey, you're funny, you make me laugh, I'm going to get to know you a little bit more. And a lot of things kind of popped up all at once in the beginning, like red flags that I should have paid a little bit more attention to, and I didn't, which I totally regret to this day, because it affected me so much as a person, and I let it go on for so long, as I will obviously tell you. But after that, like, we started dating and stuff, all these little things started happening. So he said he wasn't with this girl when we started dating, and apparently he was. He just didn't break up with her yet. And that happened. So she was like all starting drama with me, and I didn't know any better because I didn't know they were together. So basically that happened, and then one of this girl's friends messaged me, and she was like, hey, you know, he's cheating on you with her, and he's still with her, and obviously you're so stupid for being with him, and da-da-da. And I was just like, what the hell is she talking about? And he just kind of blew it off like it was nothing, like, oh, she's just trying to start shit, and she's just mad because I broke up with her. And I was like, okay, whatever, like, that happens, right? So, ow, I got something in my eye. Anyway, that happened, and then at the beginning, again, about a month later, I was going, like, this sounds really bad, but I was going through his phone, and, like, I wasn't, like, snooping through his phone. I was just, like, his phone went off, and I had it in my pocket, so I opened it, and, like, one of these girls that I went to public school with were messaging him, and, like, the text was deleted before that, but I read that, like, your girlfriend wouldn't be happy that you're saying this. And I didn't know what he said, obviously, because it was deleted before that. And I was like, what the fuck is this? So he's just like, oh, that was from a long time ago. She just replied to me now, obviously, because we were only dating for like a month. And apparently her cell phone broke or something like that. I don't even know what the story was that he came up with, but whatever. So after that, I was kind of like, what's going on? So I tried to slow things down. This guy was, like, obsessed with, like, sex and stuff like that, and I'm not one of those people that think that sex is, like, a closed-off topic. I am open to discussion of it. If you guys have any questions and stuff like that for me, please comment below, because I have no problem talking about it. I'm not going to say, like, personally things that I like or anything like that, but if you guys have any questions or concerns, like, oh, what should I do if my boyfriend's pressuring me for sex and stuff like that, I would be happy to make a video about that. Anyway, I was pure. I was a virgin. And this guy was, like, obsessed with, like, oh, I love you, and we should just, like, have sex, so we just, like, consume each other and just announce our love for each other with sex. And I was like, why? You know, why? So I tried to drag it out as long as I could before I just, like, when this guy finally, like, talked me into it, or I just kind of gave up, and, like, I couldn't say no anymore, like, this guy wouldn't take no for an answer, it was really hard, because, I don't even know how to word this properly. But basically, it was just really, really hard for me, because the way I lost my virginity was not a happy experience. It fucking hurt. It wasn't pleasant. It wasn't happy. It wasn't enjoyable. It was the worst way to lose your virginity that I could ever think of, except, like, being raped by somebody you don't know, and I don't even know what I was thinking, and I hate myself for letting it happen like that. Like, I can never undo that. I can never take that back. And if you guys are like, I was only 14 years old too, and if you guys are thinking about like, oh, you know, he loves me and da-da-da-da, and I'm in high school now so I can do whatever the hell I want, and no, it doesn't work like that. If you guys rush into something like that, like, you're gonna regret it. I'm telling you right now, you're gonna regret it. And after that happened, you know, I was like, because the next day he was a total dick. He was like, he wouldn't talk to me properly. He'd like walk way behind me or way in front of me. And like, my best friend and her boyfriend were staying at my house that weekend. So like, I was walking with her and we were walking to this pond thing that was near my house, and he was just like being a total dick, and like, I felt like, oh my god, what the fuck did I just do? And I'm sorry if you guys take offense to the fact that I swear in some of my videos. If I am swearing in most of my videos, this is the real me. I don't pretend to be somebody that I'm not on YouTube just because I make videos. If you have a problem with it, I'm not gonna say, I'm not meaning this to be rude, but I don't really care, because this is who I am, and if I'm gonna talk to you about something that's personal to me, I'm gonna talk how I usually talk to, like, if you're my best friend and I'm sitting beside you. So I apologize in that nature, just because this is who I am, and I'm sorry if it offends anybody. But anyway, after that happened, he kind of went back to normal, but it was never normal. Like, it was never a normal relationship, and more things kept popping up. The guy that I dated before, who is now my boyfriend, his name is Philip, and I love him to death. We've been together for like 3 years, and I can honestly say I've never been happier. He has been my best friend. He's been my rock. He's been like my shoulder to cry on. Like, he's been everything to me, and I just like thank God every day that he came back into my life. So after that, Phil had a party, and they were friends. Like, my ex and my boyfriend now, they were friends when I was dating my ex. So he had a party. He was turning 15, I think. Yeah, 15. And he had a bunch of people over, and they were having some drinks and whatever, and they were all like sleeping outside, and there was obviously girls there. So I was like, what the fuck? Whatever. You were gonna go if I didn't want you there or not. So I put up a little bit of a fight, because I knew, like, we fought all the time when I was with this guy, and it wasn't a good time. So I just kind of gave in again, and I was like, hey, what the fuck, go, whatever. And I didn't have a good feeling. And when it happened, like, he was texting me in the beginning of the party and stuff, say, hey, I'm not even drinking, you know, whatever. And it turned out, you know, oh, my phone's gonna die, you know, I love you, I'll talk to you tomorrow, and whatever. So I wake up to a phone call from Phil's mom, which I adored. I loved her to death. Like, I love her. And she woke up, and I woke up to her calling me and texting me and stuff, saying, hey, you know, you need to smarten up, because he's cheating on you. He just, like, did stuff with, like, 3 other girls, and you're not here, and he told us that he broke up with you last night, and, you know, we watched him call somebody and say that, you know, oh, we're done, I'm sorry, but I can't be with you anymore. And I was just like, what? So I was a mess. I was like, oh my god, how could you do this to me? And he was all, like, talking it up and, like, talking his way through it, like, oh, I didn't even have that much to drink. I honestly, like, I don't even remember doing that. I don't know what they're talking about. And I was like, okay, give me something. Give me a picture. Give me something. And she put this girl on the phone. Her name was Melissa or something like that. And she's like, yeah, he, like, did stuff with me last night, and we ended up, like, going for a walk, and, yeah, I don't know, like, I'm so sorry, like, he said he didn't have a girlfriend, and that he, like, broke up with you a couple days ago, and I was just like, oh my god, really? Really? So Long story short, I basically forgave him because I was stupid enough to believe him over the words of like 3-4 other people, including adults, and I was stupid, okay? Like, stupid. If you guys have any suspicions and stuff like that, and like people are telling you that something is going on and you're not believing it just because you don't have physical evidence of it, oh my god, you guys, you will save yourself a ton of trouble and emotional strain if you just go with your gut, and I didn't, okay? I was super unhappy after that, and I had no trust, and I stayed with him though. Like, I was stupid, okay? Stupid. I think I just spit. I'm sorry. But anyway, that goes by, and then like a month later, this rumor's going around that he like hung out with this girl at her house, and she's like really fat and ugly, and they like ended up doing stuff, like she like went down on him and stuff, and I was like, he has a small dick. Anyway, that happened, and then like he talked it down and like it wasn't like a known rumor, people were just kind of talking about it, like nobody knew if it was true or not, and he's just like, I don't know what the fuck they're talking about, you know, she's ugly and fat and I would never do this and da-da-da, and yeah. So then like 3 months later he finally admitted it, and I was like, dude, really? And he's like, I didn't want to tell you because I knew you'd get mad and you dumped me and da-da-da, and I was like, you just lied to me. And I still stayed with him. Oh, I still stayed with him. How stupid am I right now? Okay, you guys must be thinking that I'm like this most retarded, like gullible person in my life. And I was just like, ugh. Okay. Past all that, I finally, like, I was with him for like a year. Okay? This is how long I put up with this. And I was 15, and Phil came back to my high school. And he was in my English class, and we sat right beside each other because our last names start with the same letter, and we just started getting really close again, and my ex was going to the same school too, and he was always like super jealous of how close we were and like how buddy we could be, because like I could talk to him about anything. Honestly, when I said that Phil was my best friend, like he's like my best friend. I can talk to him about anything and everything, and he wouldn't judge me for the world, and I just like, babe, if you're watching this, I love you. And basically like he sat me down and he's like, you know what, you deserve so much better, and like let me treat you the way you're supposed to be treated. And he basically like came right out and said that he was in love with me still, and we ended up like hanging out at my house, and like we ate pasta with chopsticks, and I was still with my ex at this time, and I just it was a good time because like I could be myself, and I didn't have to worry about anything, and it was nice. It was a nice break. Like, we didn't do anything, like we didn't make out or anything like that. Like, it was just like purely being just together, and we talked about what it would be like if I broke up with him and if we could start something again, but it didn't happen at that time. And we basically just like, it was winter time, it was February 7th, and we sat outside and 3 buses went by, and that's an hour and a half bus time. We sat outside just talking about everything, and how, like, he always used to say, like, you should be with me because I would treat you the way you're meant to be treated, you know, like a princess, and you wouldn't have to worry about anything, and I would bring you flowers and alphagetti to your door because I was obsessed with alphagetti back then. And like, he made me feel so safe with him, and like I feel like I could just run away and he would keep me safe. And I didn't end up breaking up with him, like my ex, until like 4 months after that. And then he was like obsessive and like, oh, you can't leave me, what the hell do you think you're doing, you bitch, and stuff like that. So he would like go on my Facebook and hack my account and put us back in a relationship, and I was just like, you know what, whatever. So like that happened. Excuse me. So that happened, and like I ended up having to take a trip to go and stay with my aunt and uncle in like Sarnia, and I stayed there for like 2.5 weeks, and me and Phil started talking again, and we just got really close, and we wanted to hang out a lot and like just talk about everything when I got back. And I was like, you know, I'm scared. This guy's like stalking my house. He's staying outside my front door when I get home. Like, I can't go home without feeling like in danger. And I'm so sorry that this video is so long, you guys. I really do apologize. That happened, and it really took a toll on me, like feeling safe in my own skin. I felt really, really self-conscious about a lot of things because, like, I could never wear my hair up because I looked like a boy, according to this guy, and I always had to wear makeup and look nice, and I could never wear tank tops, though, because, you know, my boobs were just falling out of my freaking shirt all the time, apparently, which they aren't because they were small. I was only, like, an A cup, and if you guys have A cups, like, you'll know, they don't fall out of your shirt, okay? It doesn't happen. Anyway. After that all happened, we finally ended it, and me and Phil started to get back together, and ever since then, I can honestly say that, like, he has emotionally healed my wounds, and it was an experience that I don't necessarily regret, but I do wish I handled it differently because it hurt. It took me a long time to rewire my brain and made myself think that I was actually worth something, and yeah, it wasn't fun. So that happened, and I don't know. If you guys are going through something like this and you have any questions or just you guys want someone to talk to, please send me a message, okay? I would gladly talk to any of you, girls, guys, whatever. Like, if you're going through something and you think somebody's taking advantage of you and your feelings and your emotions and you need somebody to talk to, please send me a message. Like this video if this has happened to you and you wanted to stop. Ever since that I left this guy, he hasn't had basically a girlfriend since, and it's been like 3 years. That's how much of a lowlife this person is, and that's how much shit has come out, and people are finding out about this guy, and nobody trusts him enough to give him a chance. And you know what? It sounds bad, but that's karma. And if you waste 1.5 years of somebody's life and just treat them like absolute crap, I would expect you to get the same thing. And that's just not cool if you go around taking advantage of girls or guys and you don't expect to get a slap on the wrist, or you just expect to get a slap on the wrist and nothing else. No, you have to deal with what you dished out. And like I said, if you guys have had any questions or any comments, concerns about anything to do with this subject, please comment below or send me a message. If you guys have any questions, or like I said, if you guys just need somebody to talk to, I am here. I am totally open to anything you might want to ask me or talk to me about. This has been my thoughts on abusive relationships, and I really hope that this helps somebody else notice, like, the red flags going up and notice that you are worth something, and you shouldn't let a guy or a girl convince you of something else. That you're beautiful no matter who you are. You deserve the best. You deserve to be treated amazing. You deserve to be treated like a princess or a freaking king. Like, if you're going to be with someone that you say you love, treat them like you love them. Don't treat them like crap. Don't take advantage of their feelings, and just be there for them when they need you. I don't know how many times I laid in bed and I cried myself to sleep every night because I was miserable. Like, my papa died, and he came to the funeral with me, and he treated me like crap, and I was going through a funeral. How lame is that? Do you know what I'm saying? If you guys have anything to talk about, I'm here, I'm open. Please just get over the hump to don't be scared. please don't be scared. If this is happening to you, tell somebody about it. And if you think that there's not a way out for you, there is, okay? There is going to be a way out for you. And I really hope this video helped you guys out. I'm sorry that it was so long, but I felt like it was really, really important that somebody had a video like this up here to share their own experience. Thank you for watching, you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!